This is a celebration to everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the block. Peep game real quick. Peep game on the block. I used to be that dude. You're like, man, Eminem, man, y'all just couldn't call you. You know what I'm saying? You got them vanilla bajellas on. You know what I'm saying? You know?
It's going to be a problem for them. Yeah. I tell them all the time, look at the camera to let them know, too. I hope that people look at this, too, to understand that when I tell kids they have to make music, they won't be able to have a career.
Timeless materials about. So when we can talk about a GOAT discussion, you have to have a body of work that is timeless. Jim Jones just put down a Harlem style bet on himself that with his high caliber music, he can go toe to toe with anybody in the city, especially with his contemporary hits. Styles P says, I'm in the league by myself. But his name was mentioned during the Breakfast Club interview.
Nobody's got out
Jim
here.
Jones. Let's see how things
How do you feel when people call you the youngest old nigga?
I love it. You heard? I love it. I'm still in the loop.
KRS was my favorite, like my favorite artist period during The Bridge Is Over, and you can see the competitive, that energy, how aggressive that music was in the early stages, that with how it would resonate with me and the decisions that I made.
But then he got too deep, and it's like, all right.
They're not gonna jump and shake braids and be with no clothes on, sweating. And,
Never learned.
That's not gangsta out here.
Mm.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Welcome aboard, y'all. How you been? Hope you're doing well. You're doing yours. This is True Omega Son. This is the block, the corner store convo, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Just an extension of what we used to do. We was on B-Box Radio. I just happened to put the backpack on my back for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? In between time, in the meantime, and all that. You know, wonderful, wonderful moments we've been. If you saw it when we first started, it was what was previously in the last episodes. I'm gonna start doing that. You know, so you can catch a snippet of what happened for the show that you may have missed, or a couple of clips, or maybe even a short, right? And this is the third installment of what objectively makes a legendary MC. And I've been perusing the internets, asking questions, having conversations about these top lists. And the latest list that we have that brought controversy was the West Coast, the LA list. You know what I'm saying? Which you have many members of the West Coast that didn't get certain recognitions. The Game posted it. on this date in hip hop posted it. I like, his material. Check him out on Instagram. It was a complex, basically brainchild. And what I wanted to met out for this series is that we all have our subjective lists. I've covered the Billboard list, even when a little bit over some complex list, right? And we have our preferences, which is one thing. We have our intimate top fives, top tens. You know what I'm saying? It starts to get murky when you go into the top 15, top 20s, and that's cool. But when you start saying hundreds and 50s and stuff like that, a lot of factors get thrown into the mix. But objectively making a legendary MC doesn't mean you necessarily have a whole body of catalog that everybody can appease, can get with. But for the most part, you're able to carry your own, develop a community, spit some hot 16s. You got to do that. You got to have some wordplay. You got to have something more memorable. And, the flair, the style, everything is a part. I want to go into a clip that'll show you a little bit better. This is from the brother Torre, hip-hop journalist for many years. And I also want to say, rest your soul to Sasha Jenkins. Thank you for your contribution. Aha, because it's a sad moment, you know what I'm saying? But thank you for your contribution. You've done so much behind the scenes. Ego Trip magazine, great exposés, Fresh to Death documentary, things like that. Right. So your contribution to the culture doesn't have to necessarily be you rhyming, cutting, scratching, dancing, or podcasting and gossiping. You can actually be an influencer, guide and protect the mainstay of the craft. Find your voice, find your niche, dig into that, and actually be effective. Right? But let's go into this Torre thing, if I can. Oh no, this is the one I want to show. I do want to show you this right here. All right. It's basically the beginning of the criteria of what we're going to go into with the list. And one of the first lists that I've seen came from Kumo D. Kumo D came out with his list years before Complex, XXL. The Source magazine was good at objective critique at times. It did start to get biased at certain points. We got to totally mesh it out, right? And, especially when it comes to the 5 mics, which was a great system. 5 mics was a great system. Everybody went by that. They actually tailor-made their albums, many artists, first time going to the studio, studio novices and studio pros, they would look at these periodicals and be like, yo, this is how we're going to engineer our album to fit the criteria that they're looking for, as well as put the best, personal work out. So, Source magazine was like the go-to joint, especially when it came to hip-hop quotables. If you're a writer and an MC, you was like, yo, I'm going to make sure my joint get into the quotables. Facts. He wasn't playing around with it. You know what I'm saying? You wanted your joint in there. It would solidify you as a, somebody to be reckoned with, right? But it comes down to this. I love this picture. Style, flow, metaphor, words, and punchlines. This is objectively speaking. This is without your feelings. This is, can you measure up with that criteria? Can you mesh out the best possible work? Can your production be that tight? Your wordplay, you know what I'm saying? Are you that imaginative? Are you that creative to come out with something that's on par and competitive and can actually get people involved. And you know the latest conversation was relevancy. The young brother said it on one of these podcasts. I forgot which one. Um, it's one of the newer podcasts where they go over the lyrics and stuff like that. They measured the brother, was a young guy, so I can understand it. He said that Jim Jones was more relevant than Nas. And at first I was stuck with it, like, okay, that's kind of weird. His Nas is on like everybody's list and stuff like that. Was the laugh at? It sounded crazy at first. But I get it because Jim has been putting out some high quality material. He's been doing some dope stuff. Can't front. Staying out, putting himself out there in the forefront, even to the point where they address him as the old YN and stuff like that, which is kind of ludicrous. They date him and stuff like that. But at least you're in the mix, you're in the talk, right? And the brother said that, we're not quick to say, throw that Nas joint on. On contraire, my friend, if you listen to the last stuff he was doing, the Magic series, the King's Disease series, give it up for Nas, man. Speeches is just phenomenal. Right in front. And the King's Disease album was just crazy. Jadakiss, you know what I'm saying? Got to throw his name in the mix. AZ, somebody I threw in the name in the mix because I personally like AZ. You know what I'm saying? Give it up to AZ. That's it. Got new material out. Got a new joint with Rakim, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, when you start to analyze it, step back from the controversy and really start to, see what the message is about and what people are trying to do, especially with the LA joint, you got to know LA movement. You got to know the LA vibe of what's really going on out there to really start to, put the pieces together. Of all time, you easily got to talk about Ice Cube. Easily. You easily got to talk about MC8. DJ Quick. Easily. You know what I'm saying? And then it's not just LA. You know what I'm saying? It's the Bay Area as well. It's the E40. It's Spice One. It's Richie Rich. You know what I'm saying? It's those people. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you're going to have the Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? He's like the king right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about relevance as well. You can't get these people out of the vote. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the brother who's the legend, rarefied air like the MJ all this, Tupac Amaru Shakur. Cannot front. Cannot front. Can't front on Snoop Dogg either. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story. I want to say it's another story. I actually just did say it, so that's great. But when it comes to the imprint that Pac made on the whole hip hop scene, you'll see why this conversation has to be, a little more scrutinized when it comes to objectivity. So let's go into what Tori said, because I promised I would talk about that. Then we're going to come back in.
MC of all time? Not for you personally, for most people who love hip-hop. I've talked to a lot of people about this recently, and there's a few names that keep coming up, but one name that stands above all the rest. When you talk about the objective list, the idea of what do most people in hip-hop think who is the best, there's a few names that keep coming up. In no particular order, these names keep coming up. Pac, Nas, Jay, Big, Kendrick, 3K. Those are the names that most people bring up when you say who's the best, but in what order? What is the criteria, though? Here's a few things that I think about when evaluating MCs. I think about their voice, literal and figurative. I think about the flow. Everything is about the flow. I think about the lyrics and how complex they are, or how deeply meaningful they are. Can they make you feel something? I think about the ability to pick beats. Is their voice captivating? Again, I mean this literally and figuratively. Have they innovated things within the science and craft of MCing? Do they have classic albums? You may note at no point are we talking about sales. Do they drop double and triple entendres regularly? Are they fascinating to listen to? Do they seem to bend the language in unique ways? Are they an inherently interesting person? Do they have a sense of integrity, like you believe what they're saying, you think that they're telling you the truth? Do they have a point of view about the world, about the music, about themselves?
Wow.
Now, if you look at that list and say, I personally think X person is the greatest MC of all time, fine. But again, we're not talking about your personal list. What do most people think? And I'm talking to a lot of hardcore millennial hip hop fans lately. They are clear on who the number one MC is. For a long time, it was Jay-Z, but they're saying Kendrick is more complex. The breadth of his skills and his science and his craft is just more than anyone else, and a perfect run of albums. There are no bad albums from this man, and he destroyed somebody in a battle, a crowning moment of his career last year. 2024, for most hip-hop fans, Kendrick became the number one MC of all time. He doesn't have to be that for you just yet, but I talk to a lot of hip-hop fans, and he is the consensus number one in hip-hop right now. Who's the number one MC of all time? Not for you personally.
Very compelling, wasn't it? Very compelling. It makes a lot of sense. He actually added, some nuances that wasn't even discussed. How much do they tell the truth? Ooh, ooh. How much do they tell the truth? Is their integrity intact? Their impact. Impact is a big one. Impact is huge. You know what I'm saying? And then not after the impact, the momentum. You have drive to make your second hit just as big as your first hit. It's like that's the tenacity. Then the consistency. Two of my favorites that don't get mentioned, maybe because they've been in a group for so long. Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Salute to Tretch. Nasty, man. Tretch, incredible, right? And also Little Fame of MOP. Right. This doesn't take away from Billy Danz or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's still solid. You know what I'm saying? That's the Sergeant General of the joint. You know what I'm saying? But let me stop saying it. You know what I'm saying? what I'm discussing is, there you go, this the flip. When you piece together Little Fame from How About Some Hardcore till now, and you got to listen to other people's joint. The joint he did with Terminology, Physiology, bananas. The joints he did with Sean Price, posthumously, rest his soul, Sean Price, another just major MC, you know, with two MCs that are dope out of the same group. You know, salute the Rockness Monster. You know, and that's objectively speaking because, you know, these brothers put pen to pad and they put the mic in, you know, they break the mic in shambles. They put foot to ass when it comes to this MC thing that we deal with. They do that. They does the damn thing. So I definitely want to give kudos to them, but I definitely want to share upon you, show you what we're speaking about. With the Kumo D list, there were two of them. I'm trying to pull it up right now, put it on my big screen so we can go through it, right? Bang. Open that sucker up. Stop playing with me. Okay, on the top of the report card, you see. I had to switch the screen on him. There you go. And I hope you see what's going on there. He has several well, it's more than several. It's about 8 or 9 different categories that you can use to measure out the objectively speaking, the top MCs. I'm waiting for my fowler to pick up. On top of this particular one is Jay-Z. He also has an older one that deal with older MCs, from the 70s up to the 90s, right? So let's look at this. First is vocabulary, then articulation. Articulation is very key. How they enunciate words goes into the cadence and delivery. Creativity, the process, the thinking process of putting a song together. Originality. And what man said, I want to sound like me on no album. Shouts to Ghostface, Purple Tape. You know what I'm saying? Nobody from my squad. That situation has gone. It's totally gone. Here and there, you'll find somebody that has their own originality and it works for them and they're able to develop a nice little showing, but the consistency starts to fall off. Or people just get tired. They want to see something different. Here's where versatility comes in. Jay-Z deserves to be on the high list of versatility, doing slow flows, fast flows, complex wordplay, and this is without mentioning Big's verses. Okay, so y'all can stop with that. Y'all can stop with that. Okay, the voice, going into what Guru, rest his soul, from Gangstar used to talk about the voice. The voice is very very integral. It'll drive you, it'll draw you in. It's a magnetic. It'll draw you into, I want to hear what this dude got something to say. And it's usually the first 3 seconds. You're like, oh, okay, this guy's going to rip. I could tell. You know what I'm saying? DMX with a compelling voice. Be Real from Cypress Hills. Sadat X. You know what I'm saying? So these things, records, because we are in the record business. Your recording is a lot. Your recording, you sound different from freestyling to live show. You may give a hell of a live show, but can you sell records? You can't be that dude that destroy people verse for verse, get on their joint, sound crazy, but can you deliver your own package? Whoa. Then it goes to stage presence. Okay, these are real. I'm glad Kumo D did this, and he was the right one to do it because he's an MC's MC all the way. Sticking to themes. I think Styles P is great with this one too. He has his unorthodox flow, but within that unorthodox flow of misplaced couplets, he still sticks to the theme of what he was talking about in the first place. That's original. That's his own style. You can't see nobody else do that. You know what I'm saying? Beanie Siegel, stick to the script. He sticks to the theme of the song. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B. Yeah, I go there with the women too. Rhapsody sticks to the thing. It's crazy with it. And story, then go into storytelling. Well, that's a whole nother different story. This is where you get the Slick Rick at. This is where you get Nas. Innovating rhythms, Busta Rhymes, top of the line. And these are the words. These are the ones that they mentioned, right? So let's go into the vocabulary one, if you can see it. Vocabulary is the highest ones that they have on this list, and over Jay-Z, because Jay-Z got higher numbers, or he's just the first one he put down with the B altogether. Let's go into who has an A+. A+, Lauryn Hill. I'm not mad at it. And I'm not mad at it. Talk about the vocabulary, extreme vocabulary. You learn new words with Lauryn Hill, and in the context they're supposed to be used in. Articulation, top of the line. She's a singer, so you know when she sounds bad on the mic. Creativity. She can go from Lost Ones to a Refugees joint, mix it with a little of a chant song from Killing Me Softly to go into some reggae stuff, and then drop the Feast of Resistance, the girl, you know you better watch out. That's some doo-wop joint. So the versatility is there too with the originality. The voice, he has a beautiful sounding voice, state of the art. And I wish they had J. Rue the Damage up here. Just me, because I like his voice too on the mic. No weirdness, right? Records 9. I agree with that. Platinum, multi-platinum, legendary status. It comes with, it's a time thing, timeless. You can always place that stuff. Stage performance, top of the line. Sticking to the theme. She stuck to the theme. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, talking about the expressions and the experiences of our life. And then innovating rhythms, like I said, goes with the versatility, but also how you chop things up in the meantime. This is the difference with Jay-Z and Nas, where Nas is very bright. His vocabulary is top of the line. His sequences on how he can storytell is like, watching a very accomplished painter paint like a Rembrandt. You know what I'm saying? You can go from Rembrandt to Zephyr. Zephyr is a graffiti artist. If you haven't seen it before, go back a couple of episodes. We covered a couple of graffiti artists out there. Beautifully exquisite. Yet his lyrical dexterity is in question. You're not going to hear him rhyme as fast as Twister. You know what I'm saying? But Jay can't. But that doesn't necessarily make him a better rapper. But if we were to listen to Pun coming up, he was on his way. He already had the breath control. He already had the lyrical dexterity within the verse, was able to piece the verse together and keep sticking to the theme. So it's like every next word, you're like, what he's going to say next. And that's the impact you want to have. What this guy is going to say next.
You're in a privileged position to learn a thing or two. Keep your mouth shut and your eyes open.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what draws you in, along with the voice and the beat and everything else like that. This is the objective criteria of understanding a legendary MC and where we need to put him. So, we're speaking about Nas in comparison with Jay-Z. Jay-Z only topples Nas because of that situation and the stage presence. Jay-Z can give you a great stage presence. He knows how to work the stage. His breath control is awesome. You know what I'm saying? But look where they got him. They got Nas at 8, pardon me. And they got Jay at 6. Now, that's interesting. Because now I have to, you have to think like the last time you seen Nas on stage, it's like you're basically watching a lecture. And not to say that he's not into it, but he's focused on delivering the lyrics more than entertaining the crowd. That's just his thing. That's just the way he, develops and delivers. While Jay, he's a little more interactive into the crowd. So for him to give him a 6, you probably saw some inconsistencies, and I get it. Where with DMX, gave him a 10. DMX is freaking phenomenal when it comes to the stage. He will bust your tail. You'll do you dirty. First of all, the man has asthma, chronic level asthma. he was on some stuff sometimes, and most, you know what I'm saying, he's inebriated, you know, and he'll go through these different moves. How Jay-Z said it, he'll take you from growling to spitting some real street stuff. Take off his shirt, then spit some stuff to the ladies. Then it tell you about some real crazy times to go storytelling. Boom, boom, boom. Then he'll do slipping, falling. What they call it, words of redemption. Then they leave in a prayer. Rest his soul, DMX, man. We miss you, dog. You guys. I got the wait. Hold on. I got you, DMX. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was just that good. Just that good. All right, let's go to the West Side. There's a couple of people here on the West Side as well. You got Buster there and all that stuff, right? But let's check the first West Side dude he got there is what's that? Snoop Dogg. Now he's interesting, right? Originality, definitely. Snoop Dogg is a party MC that just happens to gangbang. But he's no longer a gangbanger. I mean, not in that sense of the word. He's a businessman. He's matured. So you just can't put him in a box. His stage performance always been good because he's self-aware. And he's, usually the tallest guy on stage, but he knows how to command attention. Knows about call and response, which is key to be a legendary MC. Sticking to the script, sticking to the themes, he does that because there could be times where you get off the beaten path. You want to do more risque stuff, freestyles and stuff like that. Nah. Let me just stick to the script of what people love and keep it official there. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to get too many fast joints and stuff like that. He got those though. He can give stuff to the ladies. Snoop is that dude. Can't front. Got to give it to him. That's why he gets the B+. Vocabulary, you're not gonna get too much from him. You know what I'm saying? And, as long as he matures, he'll start to leak out stuff. So I get this list. Let's get to the lowest level on this list right here. I see a couple of C+, right? Master P, C+, Too Short, C+, and Mace. So it's not a bias right here, right? All three are great rappers, great entertainers in their own right. But we already know Master P is more heavily focused on the business sense. And he just represents New Orleans to what he knows, straight up and down. From Ice Cream Man to Bout It, who do you know what I'm saying? And then to the mogul that he is. When you get to those certain levels and you made so much, it's really kind of hard to reinvent yourself. You're just learning for new business ventures and you recreating yourself in that lane. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have more people that are dependent on you. And you want to make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's. So his creativity level and originality is off the charts. I think 10 is like, shy numbers to Master P. To be able to come with everything from your own potato chips to is your own footwear. You got to be thinking something bigger outside of yourself. Now, people may say it's whack or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying? But it's entrepreneurship. You take a shot. And you hope that people see the same vision that you have. So definitely shouts and salutes to Master P. Too Short, definitely a 9 for sticking to the theme. You know what you get when you go into see a Too Short show. You know what you get. What's my favorite word? What's my favorite word? If you're going to give me a show, you're definitely going to give me a show. His articulation is pretty good, but it's basically on, on street vibe. You know what you're gonna get when you get with Short Dog. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But he will surprise you because he's a matured MC. He knows how to get to a crowd. He knows how to sell that game. You know what I'm saying? And get a return on investment, if you know what I'm talking about. Appreciate that. Let's say, let's go to the third one. Mason back to 9 on the voice, right? Is it a 9 on the voice? Let me see. 8 on the voice. I'm not mad at that. I don't know why they got Puffy down there. I'm sorry. Nope. I don't know why they got Puffy down there. I'm just have a thing when you got producers, and not to take away from their artistry, because as a producer, you may have that finish to rhyme. You may just want to be out there like, yo, I got some vocals too, but you're basically a money grifter. You just want that extra cash, and I get it. You're supposed to do that, but to put them on as an MC or a rapper on a list, I don't do that. And it got him as B level over Mace. Now that's because what's this? The record sales. That's why he shouldn't be up there. For me, I don't know what anybody else does. And he got him over for stage presence. I get that, but he's not an MC. Mace is an MC. Children of the Corn, that's the early days of Big L and Cameron and Herb McGruh. You know what I'm saying? And I think the brother Bloodshed, rest his soul, that's Cameron's cousin. And just that conglomerate of people that was just hardcore. Mace comes out of that ilk. And he just was able to adapt to, the more crowd-friendly, music-friendly vibe to becoming a recording artist. So records, he's up there already. 9. I agree. When it comes to articulation, I would drop him down on articulation for a little bit. Because he didn't necessarily, it wasn't about him, enunciating certain words. He just that was his style. So the originality I'll bring up, and I'll bring the articulation down a little bit. But he was kicking game. He was spitting. So I'll put him in the C+. That's what I'm talking about. These are the conversations you want to have with an objective theory, because it's gonna make the scrutiny tighter. So people have to really gauge in to the experience, to what the artist delivered, to what they're delivering now, and how it fits in the grand scheme of things. So pay attention to the top part of this report card. Salute, shout to Kumo D for this. This is a phenomenal list. Who else I think? He got Black Thought up there, Most Def. Let's run down the list. I'm gonna run down the list real quick. Jay-Z's, it's not enumerated too. So, like I said, all the scores are on the other side of the list, where they tallied up the scores from the subjects and topics. After enumerating where they may sit within those, they tallied the score up and then gave them a grade. Report card, like you get in school. So you got people like Jay-Z, DMX, Master P, Big Pun, Snoop Dogg, Nas, Corrupt, Lauryn Hill, Redman, Keith Murray. Got Keith Murray up there. Interesting, because Keith give you a show. Keith Murray, I ain't gonna front. Underrated. If you ever go to YouTube, Stunning Growth channel, I think he may have a post up there. They did a report on him, Keith Murray, because he was in and out of jail for a few times, and then there was some inconsistencies with the record label. and some projects didn't drop time with, but he's on par for MC elitism. Keith Murray, yeah. don't laugh at that for real. Keith Murray, man. My laugh at. There you go. Keith Murray, the beautifulest thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? I get lifted. Yeah, girl, you got a badonka don't hurt nobody, Keith Murray. Don't sleep on him. And he gets in the show mode, he shows out. The LOD love good competition. Man, concentration murder camp. Yo, dude is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And Redman is the same way too, but Keith Murray, I think Keith Murray is a little more, for me, a little more impactful for the words. Redman just straight to it. Early Redman, if you want to say that, early Redman, straight MCism, straight delivery, bars, all that. So yeah, they neck and neck, B plus each. I would say maybe Redman A minus. Yeah, I would do that. Redman maybe A minus, Keith Murray B plus. You know, and that's kind of it's kind of shine off Keith Murray. Keith Murray is phenomenal. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? And you got Ice Cube. See, his consistency, 9 all across the board until it comes to innovating rhythms. You're not gonna get too much outside of the comfort zone with Ice Cube, but he's gonna tell you dope stories. He's gonna lay some G stuff down for you. He's tight with the business. They give you a great show. Articulation is up to par. You know, he's gonna speak the way he speaks. You know, at a top level. When you hear him, you know that's West Side stuff right there. Man. you're gonna hear that. What else can you do? Oh man, that's cute. He's going to give you all that, plus a movie on the stage. So yeah, I can see that. 9 all across the board, except for Innovative Rhythms. Innovative Rhythms is like a make it or break it. Who else he got down there? Biggie. Let's get into Biggie. Biggie's an A plus. Salute to that. Biggie's A plus. Vocabulary 9. Articulation 9. 10 for creativity. Yes, well deserved. Originality 9. Versatility 9. Armed and dangerous. You can't hang with us. You can't bang with us. Hang with us. No 12 years. We just trying to. Yeah, man. Yeah. Don't play with Big. Voice 10. Definitely. Records 10. I agree. Stage presence 10. When he do the Frank White joint, pinky rings, you know what I'm saying, igloo sticks, you know what I'm saying, with the camel toes, with the gator joints, you know what I'm saying, laid back, looking like the number man in the building. It looked like the one that the grandmama used to go to play the numbers with. Phenomenal Frank White stuff. Even when he didn't have bread, right? And I remember seeing him when he didn't have bread. Webster Hall one time, salute to a couple of people. I was with my man Flip and my man Hodge, rest of the soul, right? And this is when he had the green army jacket with the Coca-Cola glasses and stuff like that. And this is when Dolly My Baby and all that was out. And still, just his performance. He was with Eric Sermon at that time too. He just was ripping it. Like there was no limit to the amount of bars he was spitting. There was no 16. It was 24. It was 48. It was like 102 bars or something like that. And he just spazzed out. But his voice was commanding, and he knew how to give himself to the crowd without compromising himself. So yeah. Stage presence. What's that? They gave him a 9. Sticking the themes, 10. Definitely. Crack commandments. Give me the loot. Come on now. What are we doing? Warning. What are you talking about? And he did both voices. Like, come on. And if you didn't do both voices at that time, you'll have I think C's would do the extra voice, right? And then innovating rhythms we talked about before, big on that what's that 10 95 8 plus. Can't get mad at that. Cannot get mad at that. So, just to show you what this was about, and then you got honorable mentions, of course, Method Man, Raekwon, Common, Razzcast, another great one. They put Cannabis up there. Got Buckshot out there. Buckshot, slept on him, underrated. There was a time where you can look at Buckshot and look and be like, okay, he reminds me of Rakim. And that's around that right when Boot Camp Click was basically going into the second shift, the second evolution of Boot Camp Click. How many MCs, Buck 'em Down. He did the Ain't No Joke Over Again, Night Riders and stuff like that. And you can see Buck was like on par with that. So, salute to Buck. I just wanted to show you how the list can be very, very instrumental when you apply these topics on the top. And we use this criteria to scrutinize a little bit more. Maybe we can mesh out a whole different list and X out some people that really don't belong there. Where's it at? Hold on for a second. Gotta make sure that my stuff is together. Yep, see. It is rough. Give me a second so I can put my camera back. Oh, goodness gracious. I tell you. What's going on? Yeah, I just wanted to show that real quick. Let me get the avatar on. Sheesh. Can't even do avatar. Yikes. All right. Let's go to the next. Into the stage. Cock your gauge. So awful. And then leave the stage. Next quality report card. We're going to get into real quick. I ain't going to keep too long because I actually got a montage I want to show you that has Tupac in it. And then we're going to toast out. I don't think you need to see me, but I hope you can hear me. The older report card with the same topics or the criteria on the top, Kumo D actually put himself on the top of the list. It was Kawhi, man. I see what you did there. And he's an A+ too. You gotta love that. But if you step back and look at it objectively, he does fit all the criteria. The only three he's like fell back on was versatility. I could dig that. Records and stage presence. Because he's not going to move around like that, you know what I'm saying, and jump in your lap and all this stuff. No. But he's going to give you a great show. And he did the dancing and everything like that. With the trench, the and the pill box, leather hat, all that stuff. So, you ever look into some old some old Kumo D, definitely. Another thing, I didn't see Coogee rap. I didn't see Big Daddy Kane. I didn't see KRS-One. Is Bismarck on this list? He's on this list right here, but I didn't see him on the other list. You know what I'm saying? Kool Keith. Get into these guys. Learn what they brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? For the women MCs, of course, they got Lauryn Hill there. Little Kim, know what I'm saying? You could throw Nicki Minaj in there. This is before, we're not talking about the Lottos and the Ice Spice and all that stuff, right? We're talking about Boss, Bahamadia, Miss Jade, you could throw in there. Lady of Rage, Yo-Yo. You could throw those people in there and see how that messes up. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them to separate sometimes because then you really start to think that this is an all-male thing. And there's a lot of pivotal women in there that could change the game for a lot of these guys out here too. Just saying. So you got Mo D, Melly Mel, Grandmaster Caz, LL Cool J. They gave him a 90s an A. Now listen, Mo D, we need to talk, brother. We need to talk. I get you got him low on what's that? Originality. You got him at a 6. I think LL's was more original than that, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, yo. Come on, Mo D.
Boy, you shaking like a stripper. Tighten up.
Why you do the young brother like that? Okay, we got Tila Rock. Tila Rock. Oh man, it's like, beginning right there, pioneer stuff. I don't know too much, about the stage performance, but originality definitely. The voice. You know what I'm saying? That's good. Raheem. Oh, is that Raheem? No, that is Rock. They got Rakim there? No, that's not right. That's Rakim. He spelled his name with an H though. I don't know about that. I think the only thing with Rakim, you're not gonna get too many too much versatility. But the voice is top notch. Vocabulary should be 10. But even though you're speaking in the nation, he's like, he'll veer off and, throw another element at you. You know what I'm saying? So it's more your wordplay in the vocabulary for me. But, this is the brothers list, so I'm gonna leave it there. KRS, yeah, 90. So they're both A's, which is good. MC Shan, very entertaining. Pioneer, I would say the versatility is down, yeah. Versatility is down. Vocabulary is down, yeah. Innovative rhythms, you're not going to get too much out of him, out of his comfort zone, but he's dope. I ain't mad at that. What do you got? A B? 88. Let me see. We got the lowest one. C was the Beastie Boys. And C plus was the Boogie Boys. Now, listen. Beastie Boys, thank you for your your contribution. No doubt. I mess with the Beastie Boys. No. Sleep till Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Brass Monkey, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, Paul Revere, you know what I mean? But with Beastie Boys is more into kind of like that rock. You know what I'm saying? That alternative rock. Not to say that that's their lane or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they catered with. And it was party songs. You gotta fight. You're right to fall. So it's that merging of rock, shouts to Rick Rubin and all that stuff. And the lyrical dexterity with MCA, King Air Rock, and rest in soul to the couple of brothers that passed on that. You know what I'm saying? And a C, yeah, I could work with that. I would say C plus, B minus maybe. You know what I'm saying? But, everybody can't be over a certain level, all right? Boogie Boys, I'm not too familiar with. Ultramagnetic MCs got the B. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Public Enemy. I think they deserve B plus, A minus. Some people say straight A with Public Enemy. But they fit legendary status a different way. Their rarefied air deals with protest songs and social awareness, which is a necessary factor for the coming of age of hip hop. Totally top of the line. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Argue with somebody that cares. What you're not going to do is that. take that away from Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? So Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, they got down there. That's the B. And Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince got a B plus. You're talking about record sales at that point. Impact, yeah. It's a solid categories to line up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna line up these categories as well. I'm gonna mesh it out with the latest MCs that I've heard so far. Take about maybe 10, 15 of the MCs. I'm gonna have these conversations. I would like for you, if you get a chance to hear this, you put your MC that you didn't see on either one of these lists in the comment section, and let's really mesh it out so we can get maybe a top 50 new artists. You know what I'm saying? They list the last 5-10 years. Last 5 to 10 years. The last 5 to 10 years, top young artists that had a consistent level of record sales, their resurgence, their vocals, as far as their voice, stage presence. We want to put all this down, get it underway. Make sure you put whatever you grade them next to your selection, and we're going to piece it together. I am True Omega's son. My camera went out. My vocals are still heavy, hopefully. And, I just want to wish you well. One thing I am going to do, I'm going to leave you with this little montage, because it is Tupac Amaru Shakur's birthday, pivotal in the world of hip hop and social awareness and entertainment all together. Just a phenomenal brother. Let me see who's in the building. I'm sorry. Queen Scorpio. What's good? D Block. Oh my God. What's wrong with D Block? What are we doing here? You put your stuff in the Cash App. You put your conversation in the Cash App. No, D Block is dope. Don't get it twisted. And I think D Block I would see. You're talking about the whole catalog and everything. B minus. B. I would do B. I'll do a B for D Block. I could see B. Criteria. 3 compelling artists. Yeah, I could see that. All right, let's just go into this real quick. Let's go into this real quick, and then we go. Is this it? No, that's not it. It's this. Bong.
I'm on some survival shit. Whether you a girl and you got 3 kids, you trying to go to school and work and make it. That's Tupac. I came from a crack mama, high school dropout, look at me now. Every time they throw an obstacle in front of me, I face it, let everybody know how it feels while I'm going through it, and then hurdle it, and let everybody see it. Every time it's come in front of me, I have an interview, tell everything that happened, do it, and overcome it. Between you and that. All I gotta do is get deep into the drums, you know what I mean, and get deep into the science of the 5 boroughs, because that's what that is. But when you get to the science of the 5 boroughs, that's so small. I hate going to there. I hate going there. And I don't think that New York should let me go there. I could give you a group that could go there. I'll rap on their shit. Let them go there. But the 5 boroughs is not how we going to take over a nation. How we going to have a nation. And that's what I feel. I know the 5 boroughs inside, and I know the signs. I know everything, the history.
And so that entails the thug life, as well as the ones that are in college, as well as the athletes, as well as the eggheads, all young black males. And so this is just another way. Since my rapping is only geared mostly toward a certain crowd, this way I can
celebrate. Big honors to Tupac Amaru Shakur on your born day. You know what I'm saying? Solar return in the great essence. What can be said? What can be said? One thing is for sure. When you leave an indelible mark upon whatever you contribute your energy to, it resonates throughout time. And he's one of those people, those artists. So definitely super salute to Tupac Amaru Shakur. We're basically out. I like to wish you and yours so much wellness, so much hip hop, so much beats and rhymes. Live your dreams out. If you're still writing, keep writing. Shouts to Mickey Bundles, got his new project coming out, the Food Stamp Era. Shouts to V Nova, he got a project he's working on. Shouts to BOE, Bo, big on energy. East New York. Shouts to you too, Lane. Murder. Shouts out, salutes. Man, I don't like to do shouts, right? So we should do salutes. Salutes from Crown to Boot. You know what I'm saying? Tone Hope. Definitely give a lot of. That's the truth right there. Salute and shouts to Architect. I gave him some, you know what I'm saying? And right in your damn stores right now, all your little streaming platforms, whatever you got playing in the background and all that. Also, you can go to the brother's website, reefhustle.com. Shouts to Reef Hustle with the movement. Freedom freaking wave out right now. So get in touch with that. I am True Omega's son. Camera shut off, but avatar up, energies up. Let's stay good and glorious and do the best you can.